Hello, everybody. So I have a lot of data and a lot of news coming out of Elon Musk, and not just about Elon Musk, but about Tesla, about Twitter, the economy, and even Dogecoin. So I'm just going to give you the information as it comes. Elon Musk did an interview at 3 a.m. overnight, at 3 a.m. New York time, and he was asked a couple of questions. The first question he was asked about a recession. Elon says that a recession is inevitable. However, in the short term, it is more likely so than likely not that we will have a recession. He's trying to say that we are gonna have a recession. He was, of course, asked about Twitter and what are the complications about Twitter. He was asked if the problem with Twitter was China, because he has a lot of business with China. And China is not exactly for open speech. It's not about you can say whatever you want, which is what Twitter is supposed to be, not exactly right now, but what Elon Musk is trying to make it. So people said, are you going to have a problem? He says, we have no problem with China. The problem are with bots. He says that Twitter underestimated the reported amount of bots, and we're trying to figure it out. He did say it's a very sensitive matter, and he wants to limit litigation as much as possible. So he doesn't want to talk about this touchy subject. He was asked about workers and reducing the workforce. If you remember, about 3-4 weeks ago, I said that Elon Musk is going to be reducing employees by 10%. The 10% reduction in employees is actually for salaried workers. He's actually going to increase the hourly workers. Who's that? The actual factory workers who work with their hands making the Tesla. And at the end of the day, the reduction in total workforce is actually going to be 3 to 3.5%, not 10%. He also says that in a year from now, within 12 months, he foresees that there's going to be a lot more employees in both salaried and hourly workers than there is right now. He says he has two main focuses right now: build factories faster and assess the supply chain issues. He was asked about Dogecoin. He says the reason he supports Dogecoin is because it's like the people's token, it's the people's crypto. He was asked to support Dogecoin by the people, so that's why he supports Dogecoin. A lot of poor people or people that are struggling or people trying to make it invested in Dogecoin. This is like the dream to make it in the world, so he supports it. He supports it for the people. He was asked about political party and who he's going to vote for in the next election. He says he's not sure who he's going to vote for yet. He's probably going to make a small 25 million. I like how he says small nominal fee. And he's going to do something called a PAC, which stands for a political action committee, to give him more information and what he's looking at. And then he's going to make his decision based on that. But isn't it fun to have $25 million that you could just dump into one of these political action committees? Pretty funny, right? In separate news, Elon says that the Texas and Berlin gigafactories is burning through billions of dollars because they can't reach maximum production and that there's a lot of supply chain issues right now. So those gigafactories are actually hemorrhaging money. That's why in the interview he says we need to build factories faster and figure out what's happening with the supply chain issues. Even he is not immune, even with his buying power, even with the size of Tesla, with all his other companies, he is still not immune to supply chain issues. And because he's not immune to supply chain issues, they're actually going to be raising the prices of Teslas anywhere between $2,000 and $6,000, depending on what model you get and what version of that model you're getting. And Tesla works like this. You buy a car, they only increase prices. They charge you MSRP. They don't like price gauge you, but they can change the prices at whim depending on the supply chain issues. So they do it very much different than a lot of other car companies. Also, I was reading an article that Elon Musk says that he wants to get rid of EV credits altogether. There's a law that says that if you make up to the first 200,000 cars of EV, you get a $7,500 credit. The year after that, the credit goes 50%, and the year after that, 25%, and then you don't have any EV credits after that. The other EV companies are trying to extend this credit, and Elon says, hey, let's get rid of the credit altogether, and let's also get rid of the same subsidies for gasoline-powered cars. He says if we do that, Tesla's advantage would be huge. He says these EV credits don't actually help Tesla, they help the competitors more than they actually help Tesla. And Morgan Stanley, analysts at Morgan Stanley, reduced the Tesla share price target from $1,300 to $1,200, which is by far more than the $700 price per share currently that we have. They're saying that there's going to be a reduction in production of cars, and that's why Q2 is going to be a terrible earnings for Tesla. I've been saying that for like the last 2 months, if you remember, if you heard me, because the Shanghai Gigafactory has been shut down a lot due to COVID restrictions. That is definitely going to show in the Q2 numbers. This is an opportunity for you to buy potentially. Production estimates from Morgan Stanley is now 270,000 for the quarter, which is a reduction from the original 316,000 that they estimated they would have. For the year, the reduction is 1.39 million from the previous projection of 1.425 million. And margins are also reduced from 25.8% to 24.6% for the quarter, and from 26.8% to 26.5% for the year. With everything that I just said, it might be a good opportunity to just sit back, relax, and purchase Tesla right after the Q2 earnings. Now, there's a lot of other micro and macro factors in the economy, and you don't know where Tesla is going to be. But right now, if I had to look at Tesla, which I am, and I do want to increase my position in Tesla, I'm just sitting back and I really am relaxing to see what's going to happen at the end of second quarter. If you've been following the reports, if you've been following the economy, you can predict that Tesla is not going to make their numbers. If Tesla makes their numbers, Elon Musk is literally the freaking greatest. I'm going to call him CEO Copperfield because he's literally David Copperfield. He's a freaking magician and nobody can pull this off. I don't think that they're going to make the numbers. And even though they reduced their price target from 1,300 to 1,200, how crazy is that? It's still 500 above the 700 that it is now. What is that, like 40% or something? It's insane. It's like a 60 or 70% above the current stock price. It's really crazy if you think about it. If you want to get into Tesla but never got into Tesla before, right now is a really good time to just relax. Let's see what's going to end up happening. Let's see what's going to happen with this bottleneck, and let's see what's going to happen with inflation, so on and so forth. In the long run, I think Tesla is an absolute beast, an absolute monster, and I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities to buy into Tesla over the next couple of months, 3 to 6 months, maybe longer. In the future, there's not going to be too many good opportunities to buy into Tesla, I don't think, because these crazy anomalies of what just happened with COVID and right now this recession, you don't know how long this is going to be prolonged. You don't know if we're going to have another one of these for the next 10 years or so. So you want to get into Tesla before Tesla is the absolute monster of what you think Tesla is going to be, before you have the full self-driving, before you have the robo-taxis, before you have Optimus Robot, before you have all this solar power energy, right, where everybody's using it, before you have underground tunnels and whatever other crazy-ish Elon Musk is going to be doing in the future. Guys, take the opportunity to figure out which companies you really like. Take the opportunity to figure out which companies you never got a chance to buy, not just talking about Tesla, and really do your research and maybe take advantage of this really shitty situation and be able to buy at a lower cost than you weren't able to buy previously. Not a financial advisor, purely entertainer and educator at best, so definitely do your own research. Thank you.